Hey everyone, and welcome to r/EntitledParents, where our first post for the day is submitted by user/KarmaCookie. So a little backstory is in order. I have two young adult children living at home, ages 18 and 19. They both work and go to college. I trust my kids. I trust their decision-making skills. When they graduated high school and turned 18, new rules went into place. No curfew. Just call me and let me know if you're going to be out all night so I don't worry. You can call me at any time for a pickup. No questions asked, just don't be stupid and drink and drive. Yes, your significant other can sleep over or come over for the weekend, just let me know what's going on. Pay a small rent during summer when you're working full-time and pay your part of the car insurance. You have your chores, I have mine. We all work together. I tell them if they're being buttholes and they listen, I in turn will listen to them. There is very little fighting or arguing in my house. This is their time to spread their wings and learn how to be a responsible adult. Lately, one of my kids' significant others has been spending a lot of time over at my house. He's here pretty much all the time. 2 days ago, I got a phone call from a number I didn't recognize. I answered and it was my daughter's boyfriend's mother. Hello? You need to tell my kid he isn't allowed over to your house anymore. Who is this? This is Tommy's mother. Oh, Tommy's mum. I have to say, you've raised a great kid. He's always polite and respectful. In fact, look, I don't care what you think about my kid. He's never at home. He isn't spending any time with me. Okay, there isn't much I can do about that. Yes, there is. Tell him he can't come to your house anymore. I want him home. And you set a bad example for my son. Your daughter has no curfew and I'm sick and tired of hearing how nice it is at your house. I miss him and I want him home. Me speaking very slowly and basically growling into the phone. Are you done yelling at me? I think I stunned her into silence. I'll take that as a yes. Do you trust the way you raised your son? What? It's a simple question. Do you trust the way you raised your son? Of course I do. What does that have to do with anything? Do you trust him to make good decisions? Yes, of course. She's starting to calm down now. Mother to mother, I know things aren't okay at your house right now. Her husband drinks a lot. I'm trying to give your child a safe place when things aren't okay at your house. She starts to cut me off at this point, but I won't let her. It's not your fault. He throws your son out for days at a time sometimes, doesn't he? Yes. And I can hear her choking back the tears. Do you need someone to talk to? Would you want to go out to lunch? That way you can feel safer knowing whose house your son is at and that he's safe. That would be okay. We were on the phone for about an hour after that. What started out as an EM was just a scared woman feeling very, very alone. Sorry there wasn't any righteous retribution, but I think it turned out okay. I am trying to get 19-year-old Tommy's curfew changed from 10 p.m. to midnight, and maybe he can stay over for a weekend. And I guess this story just serves as a reminder that some entitled people aren't really bad at all. They're just people stuck in bad situations who don't know what to do, and let's be real, sometimes we're all stressed. So guys, don't be too quick to judge others. You never really know what's happening in the background. Our next story was submitted by user/WinterGlory. I work in an ice cream parlor in a tourist zone of my town. Weekends are an absolute nightmare for us because of the sheer amount of people coming in. On one special and magical day, EM comes in with 3 kids. There was nothing about her that could have warned me that she was a Karen. 2 of her kids looked not much older than 5. I'm really bad at guessing people's age, especially kids. And the other one couldn't have been older than 3. The kids were, as expected, attracted to our most colourful choices of ice cream. All of them are almost pure sugar and chemical flavours. The older kids asked for 2 scoops, and I know for a fact 2 scoops is too much for them, since our serving sizes are absolutely huge. So I'll tell the mum, I'll make 1 scoop and she'll see whether or not she wants to pay for 2. She insisted I do whatever her kids want, so I obliged. I don't care if you pay $7 on a cone your kid won't even eat half of. The real problem came when the youngest kid, a cute little girl, wanted the blue ice cream. bubblegum. I warned EM that the bubblegum ice cream contains full-size bubblegums, and there's a risk of choking for small kids. She responded with something along these lines. Oh, it's okay, she's old enough, and anyway, there's no warning, so I'm sure you're exaggerating. Me shows her one of the bubblegums. EM getting frustrated. Just don't put any in her ice cream. It's impossible. They're already in the ice cream, and I can't guarantee there won't be any in the scoops I give her. I don't care. Just give her what she wants or I'll make a complaint. My manager is the sweetest boss I've ever had, and she always backs up her employees when a client acts entitled. So it wasn't much of a threat, yet I still gave her the ice cream because I was only 2 hours into my shift. And I had 6 hours more coming, and I didn't really want any drama this early. As soon as little girl got her ice cream, she went on to join her brothers who were on the other side of the shop, eating their super kid ice creams. When it was time to pay, EM started arguing about the prices. Keep in mind, I had warned her about the price of her son's cones earlier. I guess she wasn't interested in the saying of a low-life ice cream parlor employee. Impossible! 4 ice cream cones cannot be worth that much. You're trying to scam me. I'm sorry, Mom, but those are our prices. The prices on the boards behind me do not include taxes. I don't care about the taxes. How can 4 ice creams be worth $26? Well, your sons both took 2 scoops, which is $6, plus they took waffle cones, which are $1 each, so they're already at $14. You took 2 scoops on a sugar cone, so that's $6.75 more, and your daughter had 1 scoop for $4.25, plus extra candies for $1. It gives a total of $26. This is ridiculous. Who charges for the waffle cones anyway? Those regular cones are disgusting. No one wants that. The cones should be free. I'm sorry, Mom, but I don't make the prices. This is what it is. Now will you pay cash or card? I was harsh enough in my tone that she understood she wouldn't win this argument with me. She got out a card and pouted. I'll pay Visa. While she was taking her sweet time, I just happened to look around the line of customers waiting, and something caught my eyes and my heart sank. Little girl was as blue as her ice cream, and her brothers were frantically slapping her in the back trying to help her. I flew over the counter and pushed oblivious people aside to reach the poor girl. I bent down and told her I was going to try to help. I'll never forget the look in her eyes. She was desperate. I immediately started with the Heimlich procedure. I looked at my coworker dead in the eyes and yelled, "Go call an ambulance." I told a regular customer who was a friend with my boss, "Go get Julie." As I was still trying to save little girl, I started to panic. She still wasn't breathing. Then EM came up to me and started yelling at me. I was too focused on my task to hear her, but my coworker said she was yelling that I was hurting her daughter. She even tried to stop me, but a customer who knew what I was doing the best I could stopped her. My manager finally arrived and jumped on her knees next to me. She asked me to hand little girl over. I did. Little girl was as limp as a rag doll by that time. My manager jammed a finger in LG's mouth and successfully dislodged the freaking bubblegum out of LG's throat. My manager is a retired nurse. She knew what she was doing. Little girl coughed and gasped, but she wasn't responsive. She was breathing, but her eyes were half closed. She wasn't crying like a 3-year-old would after such a traumatic event. EM just stood there yelling at us, not once trying to reach and hug her own daughter. My manager held little girl and tried to communicate with her. "What did you do to my baby girl?" She was choking. "Liar, she's a big girl now. She knows how to eat, you just assaulted her." "I was doing the Heimlich procedure, you moron." I stood up, angry, not willing to take any more trash from that EM. She choked on a bubblegum, and I warned you about the danger. EM was shocked by the extreme anger and took a step back. I guess my yelling got the attention of the dad, who was waiting outside because he suddenly appeared out of nowhere asking what was going on. EM walked behind him and said, "This girl assaulted our daughter and now she's trying to attack me." "What? Where's little girl?" I pointed to her and said, "She's over here. She was choking on a bubblegum. I tried to help." Dad was apparently a way better parent than EM because he rushed to his daughter and held her in his arms. The paramedic arrived and examined her. She was still in crisis. Her brain was without oxygen for who knows how long. While the paramedic was working on her, the police also arrived. Apparently, EM had called them during the panic. EM tried to convince them that I assaulted little girl, but every customer present at the scene, along with employees and camera, were there to back me up. When she changed her story and claimed that I purposefully gave little girl a dangerous ice cream without warning her. But again, I had proof that I showed her a bubblegum and the camera also shows her "I don't care" gesture. Dad was livid at EM. He yelled at her and that all this is her fault. That she was always like that, and this time she went too far. You almost killed her. Would it kill you to give a damn about them for once? EM started crying and saying that it wasn't her fault, that I was the one who hurt little girl. Dad got in the ambulance with little girl and EM got a fine for calling the police under false claims. She left with her two sons looking down. I think she had just realized what had happened, because she was pale as a ghost. I don't know what happened to little girl, and I never really asked my manager if EM sued our shop for the event or not, but I was traumatized for weeks. Having someone's life in your hands is not a glorious feeling at all, especially a young kid like little girl. I have a small hope that she's fine, but I still remember her lying lifeless as the paramedic tried to talk to her. I feel so guilty for giving her the ice cream. And I just find it so disappointing that some parents care so little about their kids. I mean, at least in this family, the dad seems like a decent person, so I hope this whole family turns out alright. Alright everyone, I hope you enjoyed those few entitled parent stories. If you have your own stories, make sure to leave them in the comments down below and subscribe to the channel for Reddit videos every other day. But with that said guys, that's it from me. I hope you all enjoyed, and all I want to do is see you all here next time. See you later guys.